Welcome to part 32 of the mod making series for locked blue containers. Yeah, I'm a bit tired today. It's mostly feels like my eyes are very they just want to shut. Like they just oh, what's the term? My eyelids are very heavy tonight or whatever, so not sure how much I'll actually get done here, and I'm recording a little bit later than I kind of wanted to, but I got distracted by some other stuff. So we'll see what we get done. I'm not expecting to get as much done as I did yesterday, but that's fine. But let's get started, I guess, and let's throw on a bit of music while we're at it, I guess. It's from Robotron 64. Pretty cool game that I remember renting as a kid. I wish I knew more about that when I was young, because I probably would have liked it a lot more if I kind of understood those kind of games better back then. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna try to get some of these other object parameters in there, I guess. But what will be the first ones to be determined? Yeah, what do I got here? I got chest sturdiness, chest at least for now, I'm not sure how I'll change it, but lock sturdiness, lock magic resist. Yeah, totally unfitting music, but quite like the Star Fox versus stuff, so yeah. We'll keep it on. So I guess we'll do chest and lock sturdiness first. There's gonna be some pretty important factors. Now, how will we do that? Well, let's see. Let's see, we got that. Yeah, let's do a new line. LOC object, obj. Want this thing. There we go. Chest sturdiness equals, and then we'll do lock obj dot lock sturdiness. So I forget, what was it, like 1 to 100 or something, or maybe 1 to 200? Here, let me see where I put my notes. Here we are. This is our spreadsheet that we made, or whatever I made. I forget if I even showed this. I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. We got these like ballpark sturdiness values here based on the materials and what. Yeah, so 1 to 100. Basically everything is 1 to 100 right now. Probably the first thing I'll do in this case is make a new method. Roll chest sturdiness and roll lock sturdiness. Man, I got so much Kirby music in this playlist, it's crazy. So this is just going to be an int value. And allow materials, we don't care about that right now because we already determined the material. Now we just want the material as a modifier itself that we have determined. You know what, just to make it easier, because I could just fix it up later, clean it up later, I'll just put the method like right below here. Even if, I'll clean that up later so it's more like in logical places instead of like comfortable places. In this case, we want LLC obj dot test material as a parameter, as well as for the other one, lock material, as well as room value mod. And I also want to know the current block that the loot pile in question is in. So basically, if it's in a block with water or not, basically. That is, as I said, a factor I would like to include. Alright, we got some Flock music here. Flock on the Super Nintendo. Composed by Tim Fallon. Fallon? Fallon? You know the guy. Tim Fallon, maybe? One of the best game composers on the NES and SNES for games that did not usually deserve as good a soundtrack as they got. Even though Flock's pretty cool. It's just not that well known, I guess. not the most popular. Not like Mario. Because we know the loot pile is going to be in a thing called, like, one of its parents is going to be the actual, like, block that it's in, at least if it's generated by the vanilla game without, like, a mod generating it. So we know it's going to be a child of one of those block, dungeon blocks in, like, the hierarchy. So we could use that to read the string of the block name, I believe. I'm gonna have to test this in Unity, but I'll probably just... I know what I'm trying to do, so I'll probably just do it like that. I really don't want to launch the Unity editor. I'm almost definitely not going to right now, so I'm just gonna probably guess, and then... I'm probably just gonna guess and then fix it later when I do feel like launching the Unity editor and testing and shit. So for right now, though, I have the, actual game object, I believe, for the loot pile down here, because I must, because I'm, yeah, what is this, the loot pile dot old load ID, so loot pile, yeah, there it is. So let's try, like, loot pile dot parent. Nah, it's gonna be, transform, I think. Dot parent. I believe this parent would now be the billboard, and then the parent of this would be the actual dungeon block, I think. And then I could do, like, name. I guess I could do name, and I don't know. Maybe that'll return the string I'm looking for. It's not gonna be exact, so I'm gonna have to do some string editing, but I'll worry about that when I actually launch the Unity editor next time I plan on testing it. But right now, I just know what I'm trying to do, and I will worry about the details on how it's done later. Exactly. So, I'm assuming I'm getting that. And then with that string, I'm going to, inside of this, determine if the block is a wet or a non-wet dungeon block. I would like it. Well, I kind of already have that, I guess, but yeah, I just want wet blocks, even though I kind of want it to be more detailed, but I'm not worried about it too much there, where it's like, the ones that are under the water level are actually the ones that are the most going to be affected by it, but others not so much. But in this case, it's just going to be equally, or it's like, chests that are within, wet, well, maybe besides a few instances or some shit, but generally chests and locks will have less sturdiness if they're in a wet block compared to a non-wet one. That's the idea from stuff like corrosion and stuff, water damage. But that's just a detail for right now. The chest material. So I guess the first thing I'll do is most likely just another switch case. But this time checking the material. I use switch cases a lot, the way that I do stuff, if it hasn't been pretty clear. You know, I hope that doesn't have that many poor implications to doing it. I don't think it really does, you know, on the bigger level or whatever. I'd like to have not that much effect on certain things if possible. But they're just really damn handy the way that I do stuff with all these, variations and stuff. So just copy and paste this for ease. So the switch in this case will be chest mat. What's wrong with that? Oh yeah. Don't need to cast it as an int. We don't want that. Here, let's just delete all this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. Iron. What was it? Iron, steel, orcish. God damn it. Orcish, mithril, dwarven, adamantium, and daedric. And then, of course, default. So the base sturdiness for wood will be define a variable first, int chest Sturdiness equals 1. That's the minimum value. And then in the end, we will be returning that with some things, but for now, stuff like clamping it from 1 to 100. In fact, how about I do that right now, just so I don't forget. Between 1 and 100. Yeah, so clamp whatever value we happen to get here between 1 and 100, minimum and maximum. And now we will determine how this part will change here. Yeah, you know what? We'll just define it right here for now, because a random modifier. A random modifier between, like, probably 0 and 20. And just apply that, as well as any other mods and stuff that come out in the end. So let's get a random roll between 0 and 20. Would be a good one for that formula helper somewhere. Random range, maybe it's called. Yeah, there it is. Unity engine random.range. And you gotta make sure that you understand the difference between inclusive and exclusive when it comes to the min and max. Otherwise, you might get a value that's not what you expect. So in this case, we want inclusive, means it also counts whatever number you have there. So in this case, it also includes 0. But exclusive means it does not include that number you have. So 256, it doesn't actually include 256 within that. It's actually only up to 255 in that case. That's basically the inclusive and exclusive thing. So in my case, inclusive, we want it from 0, so we have 0, so that's good, and exclusive, so we want it to 0 to 20. So we want 20, but we would not do that because we want 20, and it would be excluded if we do it like this. So I just do, it's like, okay, 21. You could also just do something like this, like +1, which does the exact same thing that I just did, but it's probably a little bit easier to read, I guess, if you're not thinking about it. But yeah, this is what this should do, is roll a number between 0 and 20 and set it to this value, random mod. Actually, now that I think about it, I want it to be plus or minus, so it's actually going to be from 0, or possibly, what would that be? I guess, yeah, I guess it'd be negative, yeah, a little bit more complicated than that way. Negative 20 to 21, basically, which should be a range of about 40. So it could either be it could be as low as -21, or nothing, like 0 in the middle, or it could be +20. At least that's the idea. So, okay, so it's a range of actually 40 in this case. Either in the minus direction or in the plus direction. And then with that value, now we can just give the base values for the material itself. So in this case, chest sturdiness equals 10. And break. That's for now, at least. And then for iron, I think it was 40. Yeah. Then it would basically be that value, chest sturdiness, plus random mod. And then I want to include the try to include the thing with the water block that I was talking about. So how will I do that exactly? Man, this song is awesome. Brave Fencer Musashi, as we have heard a few times at this point. Yeah, the water block part, that'll just have it as a placeholder for now, but basically it's like, alright, if this value is true, then add or Yeah, then add some modifier to this value here, just sturdiness. I'll I'll use this thing that I just did before, basically. What the hell? Just to make it like maybe confusing to read, but cleaner. If is water block or inside water block is true, then do a random range between something and something. Did I forget to include the room value mod part? I did. How the hell am I gonna include that? And do I want it? Yeah. How am I gonna include that? I forget. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So this is just now for if it's wet at least. So a random range between a random negative modifier of either -10 or -1. Or 0, actually. -10 or 0. Yeah, let's make it -1 and 0. Fuck it. And then add that to +10, which would be the base, like, sturdiness of a wooden chest in this case. So that would be that's if it's in a water block, and if not, then it's just the 10. Okay. Now, I want to factor in the whole room condition, or the whole room value mod, which I completely forgot about. I think I'll just do something similar up here, maybe. As another kind of modifier, I guess. Int room mod. Int room mod. And then that will equal room value mod. I don't know. I want it to be like a maximum effect of like maybe 10 plus or minus. So, at least to this attribute. I could clamp it between two values, I guess. And just, this part shouldn't be that difficult that I'm making it, but just trying to think here. Obviously thinking too much, because it's not helping me that much. We'll do between -10 and 11. So either maximum amount of -10 modifier to it or a +10 modifier to it. And then have that be based on room value mod divide by 3, which then for that I want to do a round, just so whatever decimals it happens to come out, it tries to round it, I guess. Math f dot round. Does it say if it was -30? And then if you divide by that, if you divide that by 3, it would be -10. So that's good. And then if it was +30, it would be +10. Okay, so that's good. But now I want to actually like make it not just a well, because I do like to have a random roll kind of for that kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just leave it like that for now. May add some random factor for this later, but for now, just static based on room value mod. So both the fact that, well, for the room value mod, it can either remove 10 points of sturdiness, or it can add 10 points of sturdiness depending on the positive or negative value of it. If something is within a block that has water in it, at least that's when we'll determine that, then it gets a sturdiness modifier of -10 to 0, plus -10 to 0. Well, I might change that for some of the other ones. Like, maybe it'll be different for some of the magic-resistant ones. Like, they'll be more... They'll keep their sturdiness more, or something. Like, they're more corrosion-resistant or some shit. Compared to something like wood, I don't know. In fact, for wood, maybe I'll make it, like, -15 to 0. Because I think wood would be pretty affected by water damage and stuff. Potentially. Same thing probably with, like, iron, maybe. Yeah, just do it like that for now, I guess. And we'll see how it goes in the end, but yeah. That's some good placeholder stuff for the time being, I guess. So now let's do that for the rest of them. So 40, 40, 40. And then for iron, I'll make it, yeah, -15 as well, because I think iron would be pretty affected stability-wise based on it, how corroded it's been or whatever. And steel, I'll make it -10, because I think it would be less affected, but still affected compared to, say, iron. And same deal with orcish, I suppose. Just for kind of nice, even numbers, whatever you want to call it. Not weird numbers, sort of. Now, mithril. You know, mithril, I'll say it's like similar, maybe. Now make it 5 to 0 for mithril, dwarven, adamantium. So they're not as affected by corrosion, I guess, potentially. In terms of stability. For now. Then 30, 30. Then Daedric, I'll make it 10. Just because, I don't know, it's like fire and then mixing with water and I don't know. Just is. And then when all that's done in the end, we add it to random mod and chest sturdiness and all that shit. And then it clamps it between either 1 and 100. I think that's good enough to determine this particular attribute at least. Oh, I forgot to use this. Add this somewhere. Yeah, I'll add it at the end here, just like I did random mod. Plus room mod. Yep. Okay. It's probably the factors are probably gonna be too much in the end, but we'll just have to see. I'll probably have to have a slightly more factor of finesse here than I currently have. Yeah, let's just copy and paste this and then do the same shit for the lock. Sturdiness. Even though I don't need to really do this copy and paste wise. But that's kind of how I have it for right now, so if I need to, I'll fix it later. Somehow. So then change all these to lock materials instead. Lock materials. Chest. And then right after that, lock. I guess I'm good enough for that, for just placeholder and testing purposes. So what will be the next thing that we try to do? I'm not doing it today. I'm definitely done for today. It's been like almost an hour of recording. Yeah, I guess we'll just do the one right after in this case. Magic resistance. That should be interesting. So I'll just make the stuff to note for myself, basically. For next time. So, chest magic resist. Lock magic resist. Magic resist. Magic resist. And maybe have the sturdiness have a factor in it somewhat. Yeah, I might as well, I guess. And I guess instead of the caring about the wetness or whatever, we could just have the sturdiness. Have maybe, I don't know, maybe have some effect. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of messing around here. LLC obj dot chest sturdiness. Let's see, obj that lock sturdiness, and then we'll basically be doing what we just did today for instead that parameter next time. Magic resist instead. Basically the same shit. And if I wasn't so tired and it wasn't as late as it is, I'd continue and just do those, but yeah. I think I'm happy enough with what I got done here to say that's good enough for now. Let's just get rid of these errors and just return some value. Shut it up. But what is that? Chest sturdiness, so int chest 30, chest 30, int box 30. Alright. Well, I probably didn't explain too much, but yeah, I don't know. Basically just kind of making up numbers, trying to get some values here, and a lot of placeholder stuff as usual. I'm going to clean up the, in the end, obviously, I'm going to clean up, like, where all these methods and stuff are actually located within the script, or, the file, whatever, just so it doesn't look so, all around and all over the place. But for now, today, we got a placeholder value, whatever you want to say, some estimated value for the, chest sturdiness value, as well as the lock sturdiness value determined, and in the next one, we're going to do the same for instead chest and lock magic resistance values. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.